Hi everyone, welcome to this workshop on managing pain through journaling. I'm Dr. Brooke Stuart. I'm a holistic doctor in private practice and the founder of an organization called Let Go and Grow. And I cannot wait to teach you methods and to talk about research benefits of journaling and how it can assist you. We're going to go over a bunch of ideas on how we can address pain through journaling and beyond so that we can improve whole quality of life. There's a concept called obliquity, and it's an interesting concept that basically talks about when you focus on building out other aspects of your life, sometimes what you want most, like relieving pain, can follow along. So, for example, if we address the mind and the body and heart and life and relationships and sleep and movement and play, and we're paying attention to all of these mindset, diet, and lifestyle factors, so often we can find vulnerabilities within them that actually help to rework pain and to move it along. And so this is exactly what we're going to be working on in this presentation, looking at the whole picture in the context of you and using journaling to do so. So journaling is certainly for the journey, and that's a lot about what we're going to talk about here. And in my practice, I actually created a couple of journals, and I've taught many workshops on journaling itself. And I find that if we place a certain mindset with it, it can be really helpful. One of the major issues I see when I teach these journaling workshops is that a lot of people stay stuck in engaging with the conversation of pain and they never really move beyond it. And yes, it's important to pay attention to how a pain affects the body and to really focus on exploring it and thinking it through, but we also don't want to stay stuck there. And that's where I find that in order to write a new story, we have to open up our perspective. And this is where I find that the concept of let go and grow, by paying attention to what doesn't work and what does, and beginning to understand and have inquiry and conversations around why, can be really helpful. So here we can begin to look at and connect to what it is that we're interested in exploring so that we can learn from it, let go of what doesn't work, and develop what does. And all of this can help to make the most of it and bring the value forward. So in our organization, Let Go and Grow, we think about these 5 principles. So thinking about yourself as the creator of your reality, and in terms of journaling, the author of your life. You have the power to choose how you perceive, interact with, and interpret all your life experiences, along with the practical choices. And journaling gives you the opportunity to have more awareness around these practices and your perspective of them. And it allows us to shift gears and change, because when we see it and it's in the light of day, it's no longer locked away in the unconscious and subconscious where it's suppressed and repressed. It's actually expressed onto the page, which makes it easier to have a conversation. Here we can also begin to shift challenges into opportunities for growth and development as we begin to drop into finding meaning and discovering what the pain may mean to us and what is potentially upholding it. And when we do this, it's almost like our body is able to unhook and relax as we shift into more of a parasympathetic state, out of a sympathetic state of that fight, flight, freeze, where we're locked up and in a lot of pain, and shifting into this more parasympathetic state. Now, I by no means want to make journaling out to be some miracle cure. Like I said, it's for the journey, but it can certainly help us to actually have a way to release so that we can begin to pull it out and actually have a conversation with it and pay attention to the patterns, the constellations, what intensifies the pain, and what also very much eases it. And here we also have the opportunity to begin to delicately look at how the pain is affecting us and how potentially it can be for us. What messages is it bringing to the table? Potentially, could it be asking us to shift our diet or our mindset, or to release a past trauma? As we'll be seeing in some of the research in this presentation, mind and body are so integrated, and so often when we release past trauma, pain begins to melt away as well. So in our organization, we look at these 4 categories: mind, body, heart, and life. And that's a great way to keep everything kind of in check and balanced. And so when we're not getting great results with pain, maybe we shift over here, we notice our sleep is a bit off, and we're able to really work on that. Or we notice, hey, I would like some space to rework and detoxify my stress response. My stress is really high when I'm doing this and that. And because we have a way to look at everything through our journal or our journaling practices, then I can begin to make those connections and shift gears, and maybe our pain changes with it. So we're certainly going to look at pain specifically, because we don't want to bypass this experience, and also beyond pain and how we can walk forward one step at a time. So there are so many benefits of journaling, and there are even fields that talk about journaling in practice and full degree programs. There's one by Columbia University called Narrative Medicine, where practitioners actually prescribe journaling exercises to help with chronic disease and pain itself. And so journaling can help with building self-awareness. It can help you to achieve personal goals. It can help with communication and relationships, because you're getting clear, you're conversating. It can boost creativity and self-confidence, because it can build that trust in ourselves, because we can begin to understand ourselves when we're having these open and honest conversations and dialoguing in this way. It can help to manage pain. It can rework our perception, thoughts, feelings in the now and over time, because we can begin to see the trends and actually redirect and realign in accordance with what works for us. It can help to release past trauma, ease transitions, breakups, grief cycles. So it helps us to kind of to actually go with the flow of the change of our lives, versus feeling so much resistance, because we have often a bigger picture understanding if we've been journaling, particularly for a while. It helps us to cultivate gratitude depending on what kind of journaling exercise that you're up to. It can help us stay on track and accountable with our health and wellness goals, and it can certainly help us to get consistent and to create daily habits that we're proud of. So Dr. Pennebaker is the author of Writing to Heal. He is an authority in the field of journaling. He talks a lot about the mind-body connection and how journaling specifically can help us to release unresolved trauma, and in that it can help to liberate our immune system and shift out of pain-based states. The American Medical Association has also done several studies on journaling. They talk about how 20 minutes a day can make a huge difference. And this study in particular looked at asthma and arthritis. They looked at 107 patients. 71 of them were told to write about stressful experiences, while the others wrote about less emotional situations. And the study concluded after 4 months that all but one of the patients who had been writing about their stress showed significant improvement. So this is very exciting. So what is a pain journal? A pain journal is a simple tool to assist you in keeping track of your pain flare-ups, intensity, treatment, appointments, and emotions. With these logs, you can share pain episodes or symptoms with your doctors. A simple habit of recording this important information can ensure you remember to share details and receive safe and effective pain management plan options when you have healthcare appointments. So this is so exciting, because it can help you to be an empowered patient or caregiver, and it can help you get clear and have great information to share with your medical team. So in terms of reworking pain states, awareness is so key. So when we have awareness around what does and doesn't work, and potentially why, it can help us to actually drop into the present moment and mobilize, focusing on all that we are, all that we have, and all that we can do. And so writing regularly can help us actually use our attention with more intentionality and commit to the choices and the daily routines that are most helpful for us. So there are a lot of benefits of pain journaling. It can help you to record important details about pain episodes. It can help you track trends and abnormalities with your pain. It can help you to identify the pain management regimen that works best for you. It can help you communicate with your healthcare providers. So this is all exciting, and it's free. It's virtually free medicine. All you need is a blank notebook, and there you have it. You can begin to journal. So a pain journal, what can you track? So here you can create a simple pain scale to record the intensity of your pain. You can record time and dates of pain episodes, recent activities and possible triggers, changes in your medical condition, changes in your medication, recent pain experience. You can record the location, intensity, duration. You can record the effect of pain medications or practices and methods that you're applying, whether they're holistic or conventional. And you can certainly record the mental and emotional toll it is taking as well. So being consistent is key, and there's not one right or wrong way to do this. It's all about what works for you, and you are an individual and unique, and so there doesn't have to be anything cookie cutter about this. However, you can just take one page at a time, and I find that often tracking certain things consistently can be really helpful because it can send a signal of safety that you know you've got you in this way. It can certainly empower you as a patient and your system as a whole. So here's more that you can track. You can, of course, look at pain location, pain feeling, pain intensity, how long and how often the pain has occurred, factors that ease pain, factors that increase pain, and then, of course, how pain medications are helping. And here, looking at hot or cold or certain movements or looking at certain times of the day, all of this can help your doctors and your health team so much. So here's an example of a pain log. It's kind of cute. And of course you could write this in your journal itself. It can be a blank journal. We're looking at day, time, scale, types of pain, activities causing pain, symptoms, medicine or supplements. So this is a great tool to have in your toolbox. So there are quite a few pain journaling resources online through the App Store. Pain Scale, My Pain Log, My Pain Diary, and Symptom Tracker. All of these are wonderful options. So tips for tracking mood and emotions. I think it's important, once again, to be consistent, to write regularly, to find a quiet and relaxing space to reflect, to include positive experiences and feelings too. These can often fortify that possibility. Having joy in the midst of pain is certainly an experience that can broaden the dimension and bring you out of a pain-based state as well. It really isn't a need to journal more than 20 minutes a day. I have certain patients that will journal for 3 minutes, some people for 20. If you want to go beyond, by all means, but I think that the idea is we want this to be a choice and for you to feel free and liberated by the journal versus having it just be another thing on the to-do list that you dread. So kind of keeping it fun and interesting and applicable for you. If you find that you feel stuck in a certain state of journaling, you can always shift out and add, 3 things you're grateful for, or explore a conversation or topic or anything that you want in your journal. And you can use your phone, tablet, computer, or you can write by hand. So writing frequency. So of course you don't have to, have your journal with you at all times and fixate, but I think having a nice consistent focus, whether it's once a day, in the morning, or at night, I find at night can be a really great time to journal because it can just help you to review the day, reflect, to receive the lessons from the day, to kind of settle with them, and to be able to process that through a great night's sleep. So at night is a great time to do it, but it really is what works for you, what fits in your schedule, being really realistic about the time and the space, and not feeling like you have to reflex into journaling at every moment in time, especially if it's on your phone or something of that nature. So beyond pain journaling, so we wrote a journal, it's just a Let Go and Grow journal, and these are the habits and the points that I found most useful in my last 8 years in private practice. So I want to kind of go over this so that you can have more ideas. Now, of course, there are plenty of journals on the market. There's the bullet journal, calendar journal, meditation journal, there's video journaling, creative journaling, travel journaling, gratitude journaling, 5-minute journaling, morning pages journaling. I actually love the 5-minute journaling and the bullet journaling. These are wonderful forms. So I think finding out what works best for you, you can always use that and apply that to a blank slate, just having literally a notebook that has nothing in it, and just liberating your favorite practices and engaging in them. So in our journal, we really look at the whole picture. So we think about health, personal development, relationships. We ask people to begin to look at what they would like to begin to address, when these patterns started, how it's affected them personally and their life as a whole. We ask them to explore what they've done so far, what has worked, what hasn't, that kind of thing. And so these are just categories I wanted to bring to give you ideas of how you could actually begin to journal on your own, the categories that you can begin to think about. So here we can certainly, like in the health category, we can look at the mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, social, environmental. All of these play a part in resolving pain, but also just in building out your life and creating a healthy ecosystem to live within. Personal development, you may want to consider career, finances, contribution, education, skills, new experiences and adventures. And this may feel far-fetched if you are in a lot of pain, but sometimes actually choosing the choice to build a new skill or have a new experience and an adventure, sometimes that can be what heals even more than certain pain specific modalities. And so this is where allowing yourself to live your life in the context within reason can be really helpful, and just paying attention to all the categories can be important. So relationships are important, where we can look at intimate partnership, family, friends, working community. We can look at how pain affects them, but we can also look at how they are in our lives as a whole. So plan your work and work your plan. I think it's really helpful to begin to look at where you are now, where you want to go, how do you want to get there, what is the next best step that you can take, one step at a time. And that really is what journaling is all about too, just one page at a time, one step at a time, looking at your why do you want to get there, and allowing that to become fuel. And here's the thing too, when it comes to journaling, I think it's really important to let yourself to go into the pure light and the pure dark, because you're having these conversations with yourself. So if you have a desire inside of you, I think it's helpful to be able to liberate that on the page, knowing that is there, to pay attention to that, because it can be a guiding light, and it can be something that's very motivating to get up for in the morning. And you can also go into the dark places of, wow, this really hurts, this is affecting me. And just knowing that this stuff is always going to fluctuate, and it's there anyways, even if it's in the background. So journaling gives you the opportunity to express your desires and to explore, what is painful and tense inside of the self. So that's where we begin to ask people if they had a magic wand, like what would their life look like? And that can just be kind of a fun question to explore, and then to actually bring it into action. So what would you need to let go of to make it happen? And what would you like to incorporate to make something happen? So for pain specifically, you could say it would be great to be pain-free. In order to get there, you may need to let go of certain physical symptoms that I can actually work on, and I can actually develop certain patterns as well, like work on my sleep hygiene. I can work on my movement, and I can work on my diet, right? And maybe over on the let go side, you let go of certain foods that inflame your body, and you let go of technology at night before bed, and you decide to let go of that negative thought pattern, begin to work on that negative thought pattern that you feel holds you hostage. So we've also created something called the matrix, and this is where we are able to set goals, set intentions to fuel them, and actually pay attention to what we want to let go of and grow in order to reach our goals. So here, when everything is feeling unsettled and up in the air, this can be a really grounding document to where you can just focus on your fundamentals, your bullet points, and what can be helpful to reaching your goal and what matches your intention, and then also really paying attention to what you can let go of to get there. So this is a really simple document that when everything's up in the air, it can just act as an inner compass to come back to make things easy, so you can just use what you've learned through your journal and actually begin to write down what you found to be most essential here. So in our journal, we talk a lot about something called the heart-based practice, where we're able to reconnect, reset, and remember. And it's just 3 minutes with your hands on your heart. And this can be a great little touch point. And it's not even something that you need to do before you journal, but I think it can be helpful to just have certain practices that you kind of check the box on, and that can be a way of staying accountable within the journal. Even if you were just to place your hand on your heart for 1 second, take a deep breath, and to be with your experience of journaling, the more connected and present you are, the more effective your journaling experience will be. It's just like a conversation with anyone out in the world, right? The more present you are, the more connected you are, the better conversation you'll have, and the more productive and intriguing it will be. So accessing the present moment as you journal, before you journal, clearing anything that keeps you out of the moment, that can certainly be a task worthwhile. So setting powerful intentions can be helpful. For example, it could be self-confidence, and then all day you could kind of just have that on your mind and explore ways to build confidence, ways to take pride in yourself. You can have a little daily checklist to stay accountable. You can track diet, food, supplements. In your case, you can track medications for pain, therapies, all of that. You can look at your energy levels, pay attention to dietary notes. You can look at the challenges that are presenting, anything reflective, which could be a journal itself. It can be relationships, whether they're on the lighter side or the darker side, just what you would like to explore, movement and play, sleep and relaxation. And with this, it's not that you need something different for every box. For example, you may, in the movement category, you may walk, and that may feel like play, and it also may be relaxing, and reflective. So feel free to use those categories however you see fit, and to apply them to your own journal. Reflection, that's a big part of journaling, to really take the time to ask questions, to write notes, anything on your mind, to get it out, to pay attention to your wins, the subtle changes, and the realizations that you've had. I found that realizations through journaling can be quite surgical, and then kind of wrapping the day up with what you are grateful for, like allowing your heart to feel really full for what you have. That just mobilizes, and it can shift you out of that kind of like narrow space that so often when we have pain, we're stuck in that survival, because it catches our undivided attention because it's painful, right? And we want to fix it. But so often, if we pay attention to what we're grateful for, it can begin to ease it. So that can be a helpful way to kind of bring a nice curvature to the day, to actually process and walk forward into the next one. And of course, here you can write down anything on your mind for the next day after you processed. And we also encourage wins of the week. In terms of pro athletes, a lot of times they'll show film of their best footage to remember that they're the person who actually did that good thing. And so often we forget all of the wins that we have. We are so focused on what we're not doing, what we're not, all that we don't have, that we forget to focus on these small wins that can certainly add up, and that can certainly build our confidence if we pay attention to them and connect to that we are capable, and we're capable of healing, and we're capable of making choices. So that can be a really mobilizing and empowering experience. So there are a lot of great journaling apps. Check them out here. Day One, Diarium, Penzu, Grid Diary, 5 Minute Journal, Dabble Me, Dailyo. So check them out and see what may work for you. Like I said, it can be as simple as a blank notebook and a pen, or you may love these, and I think it's worth exploring to see what you resonate with. What fonts do you love? What colors? What speaks to you? What feels easy? Where is that opening? And letting yourself kind of see this as an adventure and a gift that you can give to yourself. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for staying with me. And I hope that you have some new ideas that you can journal on. Journaling is for the journey. It can be a great support, and it can be a great way to build rapport and communication and a relationship with yourself. In the personal growth world, that's the major question, right? Like, how do you have a relationship with yourself? And I think journaling is a great way to begin to do that and to explore the topics of your life that are on your mind so that you can free them and so that you can experience more peace within the present moment. So I hope this workshop was helpful. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Thank you guys. Bye for now.